Hello everybody and welcome to 2017. It's going to be a lot going on this year. Everything is going to change in more ways than we could have imagined. I'll be starting a new channel and I'm going to kick back into the astrology videos, but we're going to carry it a step further and we're going to be doing them in a whole new way. I've been going through a lot of these new books that I acquired. This is one of them, Sapphireal Kabbalistic Astrology from 1864 by Walter Gorn Old. I'm going to take you through here in just a few minutes and talk about what's coming ahead for this year and for several decades to come, because everything in the heavens are changing based on these rules. And this is pretty old work here. And I learned a lot from this book that I'm going to be sharing with you that's going to add to the way we're already doing astrology and take it to a whole new level. And I'll show you what I mean. First of all, let me update you a little bit as to what time it is. And we're going to be talking about the cyclical year. And this is the cyclical table of years. The circle of years is divided into periods of 36 years, which periods are successively ruled over by the planets, Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, etc. Each period is again subdivided by the rulership of the planets in the natural and Kabbalistic order. These first are done in reverse order, and then it's done again. But the Christian era opened with Saturn ruling for 36 years, from AD 1 to 36. And then Venus took over, then Jupiter took over, Mercury, Mars, and we were born, most of us were born in the time of either the moon or the sun. The moon ruled from 1945 to 1943. It's hard to see that. Yeah, 1943 to 1980. And then the children of the sun were from 1981 to 2016. I saw a lot of videos this year talking about the death of the sun and all that's going on with the sun, how the sun is changing this and that. And this makes perfect sense when you realize that Saturn takes over again for the next 36 years. So as of January the 1st, at high noon, 12 o'clock, wherever you're at on the planet, the sun is no longer in the sky as ruler. It will be Saturn. What do I mean by that? There are mystery schools, and each one of them follow a different one of these planets. So of the 7 major mystery schools, we have, each one has its turn that they get to rule. So the moon worshippers ruled, as you can see, when we were conquering the air, the end of World War II. We came out of Mars. Mars ruled during World War I and World War II. Then we came out of that and went into the moon, and they told us we went to the moon. And then in 1980, we went under sun worship. This is when Ronald Reagan came into office, and it was all about the oil and the kings of the East, of Saudi Arabia and OPEC and all these oil barons. And they ruled for 36 years. And now it's time for the mystery school of Saturn to rule for the next 36 years. And what does that mean? It means a lot of things, good and bad, depending on what side of the coin you want to look at. For those who can deal with Saturn and understand the discipline and the mastery level of the teachings of Saturn, it's going to be a good time. But for those of you whose Saturn in your charts tends to be a problem and shows its malefic side, it's not going to be good at all. We also have a Saturn-Jupiter conjunction in 2020 in the house of Saturn, with Saturn as the major ruler. So that's just going to, again, strengthen its position. And then we have Trump coming in, which was a big game changer. Nobody saw it coming except for maybe these guys that do the Kabbalistic astrology. We're going to be talking a lot about this in the days to come. Y'all have to bear with me. I'm just now getting everything started back up. My brother's been in town visiting for the holidays. I hope all you had good holidays. So when everything settles down, I'm going to kick back into this. I want to show you some other stuff I learned from this book. And if you want to drop me an email, I'll be glad to respond to your email with an attachment of this book if you care to have it. Just ask for it, Kabbalistic Astrology. In this book, there's a lot of charts and everything going on. And of course, we don't have Neptune, Uranus, and Mercury. Neptune and Uranus were discovered by this time, but Pluto was not. Did I say Mercury? Yeah, we're in a Mercury retrograde. That's right. Communication breakdown. This is my third attempt on this video. But in doing this, the way this guy, by hand, set up some of these old charts in here, I started recognizing something. See this chart and the way he done it? Let me show you another one. Even Napoleon's charts in here. Here's another one. But this one in particular, this is a birth chart for Cecil Rhodes. But if you look at it the way he done it, it reminded me of Solomon's seal. And I realized what Solomon's seal really is, the lesser key and the greater key, and their astrology sigils. And it occurred to me, the way these are written out, that you could literally take the zodiac at the time you were born and do it out in hand like it's done here, and you're creating a sigil that is particular to you. This is where your personal sigil comes from. It's from the stars. Also, we've talked about the constellations being the consonants of the alphabet, and the planets are the vowels that move through them as the vowels of the alphabet, the planets would be, and they make words. So literally, at the time of your birth, if you did the chart like this, you would make a sigil that was particular to you, that would actually spell out your name that's written in the heavens. And I call this the white stone. Like in the book of Revelations, I'll give you a white stone, and on it written a name that no man knows save he that receives it, because you were born under it. You can make a ring out of it and have your own signet ring. This thing goes very deep. And it was just a visual, noticing how much. So the seal of Solomon and all of its secrets is actually a zodiac marker, which denotes a particular time. It's a timeline. And there's a lesser zodiac for the inner planets, or the outer planets, and a greater seal for the inner planets. And if you overlay those two seals, you get the full map. And in this book, this one goes really deep, for as short as it is, but you can literally calculate out everything. It involves your name. It involves your numbers. This guy's going even far as to say that he does their births and their deaths. That Solomon's key can also denote inner planets and outer planets, but also your birth, when you come in and when you go out. So we're going to be using a lot of this in some of the charts I'm going to be doing coming up. Everybody's chart that has not been done, I still have your information. And I'm still going to do it in the order in which I received it. Some things I will tell you, because Saturn is going to be ruling all of this in more ways than we could have thought of. There's nothing hidden that will not be revealed. And I'm going to be doing a lot of revealing on this channel. Actually, a new channel. I'm fixing to let this channel just sit and remain as it is. And I'm going to be opening not one, but two new channels. One just to talk to my friends and blog or whatever I want to do, or vlog, and the other strictly for these charts, so that those of you who don't want to watch them, you don't have to go through them. You can just move over to the blog and watch there, whatever we're going to talk about that day. But I'm still going to do those. I am fixing to upgrade this system as soon as I get the money, and we're going to move into the hour-long astrology charts, because I'm going to be able to show it to you in the Western, in the Sidereal, in the Egyptian, in the Greek, in the Arabic, and then I'm going to start using some of this and all of these other books that I have just stumbled upon a huge library that I'm just now going through, and I felt this was important enough to share with you. Will also be involving the Tarot, which is chapter 21 in this book, and it includes the 22 major arcana that we are not. There's so much more information in here about that tarot deck, and that we don't know, that I never knew anyway. The first card being the Magician, the second card being Door to the Hidden Sanctuary. We're going to go through all of these. As I do the charts, I'm going to layer over it the tarot and the major arcana that go with those signs, the sigils, and the symbols. And when I do the charts, I'm going to be looking for a jeweler or somebody that works in that craft to help me make these sigils. As I do your charts, it's going to produce a symbol inside, like Solomon's seal. And that will be your symbol, your name. I'm even going to attach the letters to it so that you'll be able to not just see it, but you can speak it. And they will be strictly for each individual person. Everybody has their own. And I knew everything was written in the stars. I followed all the languages back to the stars. A bunch of you have been asking me questions. I've just put everything on hold until I can get more settled and get my feet a little firmer on the ground and get everything better organized and actually prepared to do this properly, because I don't want to do a half-assed job. I will say buckle up for 2017. 2016 was one of the hardest years of my life. I learned more than I could have ever hoped for about what's really going on, about people, expectations, worldviews, personal views, and I have a lot better understanding and grasp of the heavens than I ever have. And I'm going to share that with you as we go along. And hopefully some of you that are interested enough, I'll give you all of these books I've got, and you can do this for yourself. Of course, Stellarium's free as usual. I've got 2 minutes left here, so to answer a couple of questions. Some of the things that went down that in the past year for me to where it ended up where I am now. I've been, I guess, waiting to the journey's end, but I will be posting a video within the next couple of weeks on how I got here, how it all happened, because you kind of need to know so you understand, and it'll answer a lot of your questions. Instead of me answering 50 different questions from 50 different people, I'm just going to tell you the way it happened, the way it went down, and so that can answer all your questions and kill several birds with one stone. But I won't hold anything back, and I'm going to tell the truth, and I'm going to show you evidence to prove it, so that there is no questions, and we'll just let that dog sleep and put 2016 to bed, because we've got too much in front of us to worry about what's in the past. And I'd like that this matter settled once and for all. So I'm going to close the book on it, and I'll dedicate a video just to that subject. In the meantime, I'm not taking any new birthdays until I finish the ones I have. But you will be receiving emails from me, those of you whose names I have, as your astrology video is posted. You'll be given to it, and it'll shoot you to the new channel. Okay? And in the meantime, like I said, buckle up. It's going to be an interesting ride with Saturn opening this year for the next 36 years.